Algebra 2. This is a weird week, right? No Mondays. We didn't have an 8A on Monday. Wednesday is the PSAT and the work keys and all of that stuff going on. So no class until Friday of this week. And here's the thing, Algebra 2, you don't have a lesson this week. It's test week. So we're not going to have a mandatory meeting on Friday just to tell you to take the test, because I want you to be able to look at the test before then and maybe even have the test taken by Friday. So let me look and show you real quick on Buzz. And looking at that, this week is, we're in Module 2. We're done with the Module 1. Module 2, we have Part 1 and Part 2 of the test down here. Part 1 is, as usual, the multiple choice part of that. And we have, writing a radical and exponential form. Always pay attention to what they want the answer in. They want it in exponential form. So they gave you all the exponential answers there. Simplify that, power to a power. Solve this for possible values of x. Of course, you're going to throw out extraneous solutions when you get those. Simplify that. Which one of these? So looking at all this, you've got 10 multiple choice questions. There were 6 points each. Now, I hate that it's multiple choice because I can't give you partial credit or anything, so it's all or nothing. But take your time. Work these out on paper first. Work these out on paper first so you know the answer before you're just guessing one of those. You need to know what you're doing. And the second part of it, this is the fill in your work. There is 4 questions this time. So describe how to transform this into an expression with a rational exponent. All right, so they want it to be an exponent form. Make sure to respond with complete sentences. And I will tell you, in mathematics, if you do the show out the work, that's a mathematical sentence. I'll take that. So when you're describing how to transform it, if you just want to actually do the steps, and remember, use this plus minus button so it looks like math. If you're doing x squared, see, it looks like x squared instead of having to do that. When you save that, it'll put it as x squared on there. So use this insert equation button to make the math, especially with these radicals and stuff. When you're putting a radical in there, you go down to these symbols, and there's the square root symbol, or the 3rd or 4th or 5th root. If you need to do the 5th root, root 5 of x would look like that. See? So you can do that in Buzz and make it look right. So you're doing that. Transform this into an expression that has a rational exponent. Solve this. Show each step to the solution, right? Including making sure it's not extraneous. Show the work to multiply these 2 complex numbers together. All right, and you need to simplify those. And the last one, Barrett works in an ice cream shop. Yours may be a different question, but it'll be similar. So you may not have Barrett in the ice cream shop, but they give you an f of x and a g of x. And they want to know to show all the work to find f of g of x. And what does that represent? When you do f of g of x, what is that? Because f of x is the amount of money he earns per gallon, or x is the number of gallons of ice cream in this problem, if yours is different. G of x represents the number of gallons of ice cream he makes per hour. So what would that be if I put g of x into f of x? There's your 4 questions. So take your time on this. If you struggle, make sure that of course, the practice test, you still done the practice test. If you struggle on the practice test, I hope you looked where I did the practice test, because I think I should have the exact same problems you did on the practice test. I have a whole video of me taking the practice test and explaining how to do these problems. So if you struggled on the practice test, you need to watch me do the problems on the video. If you struggle on the practice test, don't just jump into the test without going back and reviewing what you missed, and perhaps watching how I did those problems, because I explain how to work them. So I want you to do well. I want you to take these tests and feel good about it and raise your grades. All right. I don't want your grades to plummet after a test. If you learned what you needed to learn, the test should reinforce your grade, should help your grade with the big 100 number, right? 60 points on part 1, 40 points part 2. It's 100 points. You want most of those 100 points, if not all. So, all right, guys. I'll turn it over to you this week. I'll be in class on Friday if anyone needs help. If your grade's under 70%, you'll need to be in class Friday anyway. But I'll be there if anybody has any questions. If you're trying to review something because you can't figure out how to do it and you don't want to miss it on the test, come see me Friday. Otherwise, we'll see you next Monday.